It's rough. And so anyway, speaking of crack, there you go. And anyway, so elect a terrorist? Yes. As a show of force and as a show of, what's the word? Of protest. Yes. Yes. That's right. That's right. We're so sick of this that we will elect a terrorist. That's right. That was my viewpoint with Trump. That was. And like, yes, LOL, what? That's right. Because again, and no. It's a show of defiance. It is a show of defiance. It is a protest vote. It is a fuck you. It is a no, I'm not going to sit inside of this little box that you put me in. I'm going to go off the fucking rails. And unless you want to follow me, you're going to lose. And the thing is that it's a show of ignorance. Good. Good. Hopefully they listen this time. Stop giving us shitty candidates. Stop giving us shitty candidates that prioritize Israel over New York City. New York City's a fucking PvP server. There's crazy people everywhere in New York City. There's illegal migration constantly. There's fucking you know, like what is it? There's rent problems. Nobody can afford to live there. People are having their shit stolen constantly. All of this stuff, it's Gotham. Like everybody knows, New York City was based off of Gotham fucking City, right? Or sorry, Gotham City was based off of New York City, and that's the Batman city where everything goes wrong. And so the fact is, no, absolutely not. And my NYC KDA is watch Eric Adams' interview talking about this guy. Yeah, I will. And who's truly ignorant there? And the people who are, it's not about being ignorant. It's about showing defiance against a system that intentionally disenfranchises you and creates a false dichotomy between different people that will not give you any results. And at a certain point, in my opinion, I think the only way to play is to flip the fucking board over and say, fuck you. So an anarchist? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I would rather live in anarchy than manage controlled tyranny occupied by a foreign nation, slowly declining into feudalism. No. No, no, no.
Anyone willing to help?
Mom, Donnie, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel?
Look at this shit. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Mayor?
I will be doing as the mayor.
And I want to reiterate, I don't agree with this guy on a lot of things. I don't like a lot of things this guy represents. But that doesn't matter.
Standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs.
Do you remember what I said before about how I always vote for the most disruptive candidate? Whoever will cause the most problems, whoever will destabilize the system the most, that's who I vote for. Because I think the system needs to be destabilized, because I think that it is, the stabilization of the system is done in a way that is, you know, bad. He's the literal opposite of your whole politics. I know. That's my point. Yes. That's the whole point.
That's in their synagogues and temples, or at their homes, or at the subway.
That's not a smart way of thinking. You see, a lot of people, and I understand your point of view, and I respect your point of view, but that's not the point of view that I want to live by. My personal opinion is that choosing the lesser of two evils, it seems to me, this is just the way I feel, it seems to me that the lesser of two evils becomes more evil every time. Just over time. You know, maybe like 20 years ago, it was more reasonable, and it becomes more and more and more evil, and the other one becomes worse and worse and worse. You're still choosing evil, right? Exactly. And so chat's getting mad when you don't even live in New York. Yeah, this guy's better than Cuomo by a long shot. Cuomo's a proven corrupt politician. Exactly. People don't understand that after electing the guy, it's going to make people more happy with Republicans. Yeah, and again, and I know this is probably going to be very surprising for people to hear, like, and again, I don't even really, like, it's a protest vote, basically. And I think a lot of people should embrace that. And here's one thing to keep in mind, that all of the establishment politics and everything establishment media, the one thing that they are more afraid of than anything is a person like me. Who is willing to flip the whole throw things into chaos, ruin everything, and just say, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway. Because I'm so sick and tired of this bullshit.
Platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just
as
yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
Do you see this? Listen to this.
As the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever.
As mayor?
I will be doing. As the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples, or at their homes, or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
So this is it. They asked him which place that he would visit first, and then he says he'd stay in New York to make New York better. And then they ask him a question that's like, do you believe in the Jewish state of Israel? They're trying to catch him in something that's going to make him look bad. They're trying to misrepresent him. And again, hopefully you guys respect it. It's so obvious. It's so fucking obvious.
I believe Israel has the right to exist
As a Jewish state?
as a state with equal rights.
He won't say it has a right to exist as a Jewish state. He very
Well, they do. They have a right to exist as a Jewish state. They have a right to exist however they want, because they like. I don't like this idea that a state doesn't have the right to exist as an ethno-state. It very clearly does, because we're not God. Like, I mean, basically, like, sovereign nations are not accountable to anybody else. So if a nation wants to exist as an ethno-state, that is their right and their own prerogative, because they are a sovereign nation to make that decision.
To us, no, he won't visit his.
I said that.
That's what he was trying to say.
No. Unlike
No,
you,
he never-
unlike
he
you,
never
answer
said
questions
no.
very directly.
All right.
My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel. My wife's life work in this area means a lot to our family, and it could coincide with my young son Miles' bar mitzvah. We'd like to have his bar mitzvah.
Okay, but
Man, and so big surprise. And this is not even a topic that should be discussed at a mayoral debate. This is subversion, yes. The problem is he might say he will visit Israel, but we all know a big politician bows down to Israel. He's just saying that he won't. You can't be a politician without unwavering, outspoken allegiance with Israel. Well, eventually somebody will be. Eventually somebody will be a politician who doesn't express allegiance to Israel. And when that person does come out, and I think, again, voting for this guy moves the Overton window closer to that guy getting elected. This guy might not be that guy, but this guy paves the path for the next guy. We'll watch this.
My team says I move my hands too much in this video, so for this one, they're staying in my pockets. The other day on the subway, I met a New Yorker, but get this, they vote in California. I know this is true for many of you. You're Democrats who've chosen not to vote here because you believe your vote counts more elsewhere. Every 4 years, you vote absentee from your parents' address in Philly or 3 apartments ago in Atlanta. But come on, you live here. I get it, I do.
Keep them in your pocket.
Especially after this last election. We all wanted to defeat Donald Trump, and New York felt like a lock. But in many ways, this election, Trump's back on the ballot. We have a choice between Andrew Cuomo, funded by the same billionaires who put Donald Trump back in the White House, and our campaign, who will tax billionaires to make the city affordable. It's a referendum on where our party goes. So in just this one instance, ask yourself, WWDFGD, what would a disgraced former governor do? Well, Cuomo changed his registration immediately after not having lived here for more than 30 years.
There's also that. What the fuck? This guy's trying to run for mayor at a place he doesn't even live? What the hell are you talking about?
So if he's voting from his new address, so should you. With just single digits between us and Andrew Cuomo, your vote can make the difference. You have until June 14th, this Saturday, to change your registration in New York City. So head to SavronForNYC.com/vote. Let's win this thing. I do!
Keep them in your pocket.
Yep, and there it is. And this is again, it's a very simple, very simple commercial. And that's, I think, what people, it's annoying. I mean, people could say it's annoying or whatever. But I think in general, I think that he has a message that resonates with a lot of people. And I think especially as more young people, I think that as more young people, and like he's not really super young, he's 33, right? And I'm older than that, so I don't know what that says. But my point is, I think that there are a lot of these issues that I think mainstream media and I think the boomer establishment somehow that's still in power is like fucking desperately hanging on to, like bullshit with Israel and other things like this. These are just simply not relevant to an average person, right? He looks 40. I mean, I don't know. But like either way, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, so I'll watch a video about this because this was obviously very, very big news. But as I said, you know, I know that a lot of people might not like my methods, but I truly do believe that the only way to overcome people like him and the, you know, like Israel first lobby is to just simply vote against it at any cost. Go and vote for Garrosh Hellstrom as president? Yeah, I would. Absolutely, of course. And so let's go back over here. I'll look and see it. And Trump came out yesterday after your stream and said 24 hours ending the war with sarcasm. Oh, no, I did not see that. I didn't at all. Yeah, voting for a communist Islamist because you hate Jews is crazy. Yep, and keep saying it's because you hate Jews, and you're going to keep getting more communist Islamists, and you get what you fucking deserve. Yep, keep playing that game, keep lying, keep misrepresenting things, keep trying to overplay your hand. Yeah, keep doing it. Keep doing it. It's working out great.
The results are coming in what could be a real-time referendum on the future of the Democratic Party. Many analysts see New York City's mayoral race as a litmus test between establishment Democrats and the younger, more progressive wing of the party. CNN's chief data analyst Harry Enton is with us at the table now. Harry.
There is a huge component to this that's not even being discussed. And it's the fact that a lot of these older politicians have goals, issues, and problems that do not resonate with the population. Like, a guy almost won the mayor, one mayor in New York City by just saying the rent is too damn high. That was it. That's all he needed to say. And that was massively effective.
Whoa, yeah. Okay, tell us where we are.
Mondani is ahead by plenty at this point. You can see on your screen right there, that's a 7-point lead right now in terms of first come vote. Obviously, New York uses a ranked choice voting system where essentially you eliminate all the candidates, you reallocate their ballots because the folks who get a ballot will rank their candidates 1 through 5, and you essentially reallocate the votes until one candidate gets at least 50%. But I will tell you this, if you look on your screen, you see the third place candidate, Brad Lander.
It's pretty obvious. I mean, this guy is on this guy's side, so I mean, like, it's over, right? It's so over.
Co-endorsed or cross-endorsed with Mondani. Most of his votes are very likely to go to Mondani, and not a single pre-election poll that I saw had Cuomo getting anywhere near the type of support that he would need once those ballots reallocated. Yeah. That lead will almost certainly stand up, and that is why I do believe that Cuomo has conceded the Democratic nomination.
Called Mondani to concede, which is extraordinary.
Yep. Let me tell you this. I study New York City politics in my entire life. The only New York City primary that I think is tantamount to this in terms of the earthquake is 1989 when David Dinkins came in and defeated Ed Koch, who was running for a 4th term for mayor. That is the type of earthquake that we're seeing here, and he's done it. He came into this race down, 30, 40 points to Andrew Cuomo, the former governor, who everyone thought was a huge favorite. Apparently not. He did it by activating younger voters, by activating very liberal voters, by cutting into Andrew Cuomo's base with black voters. The bottom line is this. Mondani is now a force to be reckoned with in Democratic politics nationwide.
It shifts the window to discussing things and topics that are relevant to everyday average people rather than these abstractions. And, you know, like paying, you know, some sort of tribute to foreign interests.
Why going forward?
Is it true he only got citizenship 7 years ago and he's a socialist from Africa? But yeah, I mean, well, we voted for one of those in 2008 too, and so what do you expect? I mean, we've done this before.
Friday.
We had him on the show on Friday. We also had Brad Lander on, and Brad Lander talked about being tackled by ICE agents as he was trying to defend immigrants. What Mamdani said that I thought was really extraordinary, he would be the first immigrant mayor of the preeminent immigrant capital in the United States, a city that...
No, I'll add in, I also think that if you run for any public office and you hold any public office at all in the United States, you need to renounce all citizenship from any other country. Dual citizens cannot run for public office, should not be able to run for public office. That would be nice, yes. And there's no reason. New rules? Yep, absolutely. So I want to make sure you guys understand that, you know, a chaos vote is not necessarily a complete endorsement of an individual. What about U.S. territories? Debatable. I'd have to think about that more. I mean, I'm thinking about other countries that aren't U.S. territories, but probably I'd be okay with that. I mean, if they're U.S. territories, I would probably be, like, I guess, like, if I had to go.
Is a sanctuary city where people are still being accosted at their immigration hearings. And so I think just symbolically, I think this is a message about people's revulsion in the treatment of immigrants by this administration.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with that. Indeed, talking about egg prices and rents better, like Trump did, but nothing changed for the better, only empty promises. Well, egg prices did go down. They absolutely went down. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, you could just look at the graph, and the graph shows that it went down. And so, like, immigrants, I think, obviously, you know, this girl is a fucking retard, right? She's always been a retard. That's why she got kicked off of her show. I'm surprised that she made her way on CNN. But the reality is that, you know, illegal aliens, yeah, I think people do have a big problem with that. But legal immigration, I think there's less of an issue with. But, you know, again, there's, like, limits to everything.
And about the ways in which the Adams administration has been complicit in that.
Can I
think
play
that's
a little
part
bit
of what's
Joy from your interview with him, where he talks about this? Let's listen.
You know, I would be the first immigrant mayor of this city in generations, and I would be proud to be that, but even prouder for what I would actually do. This is a city of immigrants we've said for so long. 40% of New Yorkers were born outside of this country, and yet what we've seen in the current mayoral administration, and even in Andrew Cuomo's campaign, is an insufficient readiness to actually take on Donald Trump and protect New Yorkers. One of the things we should be proudest of in New York City are our sanctuary city laws. These are laws that have kept New Yorkers safe for decades, been defended by Republicans and Democrats alike for that time period until the demagoguery of this current mayor. I would proudly stand up for
Which, by the way, this is what I'm saying. I completely disagree with everything he's saying here. I think this is totally fucking retarded. It's completely un-American, and I think sanctuary cities should be totally illegal. That's my viewpoint.
60 seconds left.
those laws.
So he's talking there also
I think
about
anybody who even like allows it or facilitates it should be charged.
Eric Adams, who we haven't really talked about because he's not in this primary, but is expected to run on another line in the general. This will be an indictment on Eric.
You would have voted for him? I would have voted for him over the other guys, yeah. Because the other guys would have done the same thing.
Down to 30 seconds.
Yeah. When every option is bad, flip the board over.
Maximum pulse!
Yeah. That's right. Come back with better options next time. You don't want the board flipped over again.
The final 10 seconds.
Adams too, and his willingness to, I guess, in the words of Mamdani, stand up to Donald Trump.
There's no one happier after Mamdani and his family than Eric Adams, because everyone over 50 years old who remembers Times Square in the 1970s and the 1980s when you couldn't walk through, it was all pornography and crack and muggings and rapes and robberies. Everyone who remembers that is going to vote for Eric Adams. The New York Times, who didn't do an endorsement, did say, please don't vote for Mamdani, as did the Daily News, as did the New York Post. So anybody who knows how bad New York can get, all came out against Mamdani, because a 33-year-old with zero experience running anything except a little office with 5 employees should not be running.
Great.